I'll give you another example. Imagine you had, I was just looking yesterday, somebody asked me about my older brother, who's a marriage therapist, a doctor, he now just made Aliyah, but somebody asked me about him, and I was looking at his book on Amazon. So I see it's got like hundreds and hundreds of positive ratings, for his marriage workshop book, whatever they put out. And I'm thinking to myself, imagine I would put out a book. Imagine, not me, let's not talk about you, let's talk about you. Imagine you would put out a book. Yeah, you put out a book and you put it on Amazon. And all of a sudden you see a negative rating. Someone writes, and it's not just 1 star, it's also a comment, waste of money. Ooh. And then a second negative one. Who made this person an author? And then a third one, don't bother. Fourth one, thank God Amazon takes returns. Right? And you start seeing one comment after the next. And before you know it, you have 700 comments and 700 1-star reviews on your book. Not only that, then people take to social media, and it becomes a little bit of a trend where people take your book, they open the trash, and they go, whoop, and they drop it in, right? And then those clips start going around. Your book. Then people start burning it. How would that feel? Could you find a hole deep enough to crawl into after seeing such a thing? Who am I describing? I'm describing the modern day version of the Rambam. The Rambam spends 10 years writing Mishnah Torah, 14 books of Mishnah Torah. And what happens? What happens is he starts getting all kinds of negative feedback. The Rabbanim tell him, no, they're condemning him, you have to stop. 10 years later, the Rambam comes out with Moreh Nevuchim. What happens when Moreh Nevuchim comes out? They actually put him in Cherem. They put the Sefer in Cherem. Which eventually, later on, leads to public burnings of Moreh Nevuchim. Public burnings of Moreh Nevuchim. Did that stop the Rambam? Imagine the Rambam would have said, people don't like it. I wrote, Mishnah Torah, I came out with the first, volume, and people are like, whoa, I better stop. Look what they're saying about me. Look what they're posting about me. Look at all these negative reviews. Everyone's burning my books in public. Sfarim. The Ramchal. They say when the Ramchal was 14 years old, he knew Gemara, Medrash, Mishnah, everything. He knew everything Baal Peh. When he was 17, he puts out his first sefer. I think it was Derech Hashem. And because the Ramchal was born, he was in Italy, but he was a Rav in Italy, but because he was born 31 years after the Shabtai Tzvi, so they said, this looks like that. He was writing about the Ramchal in Derech Hashem. It's Kabbalah, but it's put in a very more accessible way for us to be able to read it. So what do? They said, okay, here comes another Kabbalist over here, another Shabtai Tzvi. So they told him to stop. No more writing. Do you know what happened if the Ramchal would have stopped right there? If he would have listened to everybody saying, we wouldn't have the Mesilas Yesharim today. The Ramchal leaves and he goes to Amsterdam. This is in the 1700s. And he continues writing in Amsterdam, and he writes Mesilas Yesharim. How much easier would it say, I'd rather just be a Tamim. I'll be a Tamim. What do I have to be Zakai for?